Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing episode on the Unleashing Potentials podcast. I'm your host, Bernadette, and today's guest is Stacey. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing, Bernadette?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. On the podcast. I can't even talk. Thank you so
That's okay.
much. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today.
Thank you for letting me be here.
You're welcome. So Stacey, where about are you, and what is it that you do?
So I am in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. It's real close to the Gettysburg area. I am an evidential medium, spiritual healer, and an author of two books.
That's awesome. So, Stacy, take me back. When did you begin to experience spirits?
Well, I mean, now that I've opened up to spirit, if I actually look back, it was when I was a kid. However, I think I just thought I was just this strange kid that had invisible friends or just new things. But over, I guess it's been about 12 years ago, 12 to 15 years ago, I started having panic attacks and anxiety attacks, and ticking clocks would bother me. I felt like my throat was closing up. And the panic attacks were like 15 and 20 of them a day. I couldn't stay home. I couldn't go outside. My husband would even help me like decide what I was going to wear because it was just too overwhelming.
Mhm.
When we would walk around places, I felt like I was dodging things. And my mother got sick. It was 11 years ago that my mom got sick in April and she passed in June. And that whole time that she was sick, I was so laser focused on her that I wasn't having any type of panic attacks or anything. And
Mhm.
after she passed, I went to see a medium. And the medium, it was a small group. I think there was five or six of us in the group. And afterwards, she asked if she could see me after we were finished with the reading. And I was like, oh, I'm in trouble with the medium. Like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
So when I met with her afterwards, and it was just a quick conversation, she started explaining to me what I was feeling, what I was seeing, what I was experiencing. And she basically said to me that spirit had a job for me to do. It was a big job. And I either needed to shut it down or open up. Otherwise, it would make me crazy. And I had already been to the doctor because I thought I was schizophrenic. I was seeing and hearing and feeling things. So I came home and had a conversation with my husband about it, who is very open minded, but we are very faith based, born and raised in the church. What we believed was that this was wrong. So he was like, no.
Mhm.
I had this very long talk with God and said, if this is what you want me to do, you need to put people in my path and let me know that I'm following the path and that I'm not being tricked.
Mhm.
And people just started showing up and saying the weirdest things to me. So we met this gentleman at we used to set up for bike shows. And we met this gentleman at a bike show. It was about 80 miles away from our house.
Mhm.
And we ended up buying his sticker business. And while we were at the show, he said, I just want to get my tables back. And we're like, well, then you're going to have to come back. And he just wanted to go home. Well, if we found out he lived like 8 miles from us.
Wow.
So when we loaded everything up and came home, he came like the next few days and picked it up. And he was saying to me that I needed to meet his sister.
Mhm.
And I'm a Leo. So, like, I'm not that just pick up the phone and talk to people I don't know. So I said, well, here's my number. If she wants to talk to me, she can call me.
Mhm.
And a couple of days later, she called and she said, I don't know why, but my brother said I needed to talk to you. I said, I don't know why either. And she asked me what I did. Well, I have a shop, Hip Gypsy Emporium, uh, hippie biker boho fantasy shop. And she went, nope, that's not it. I said, okay, what do you do? And she said, I do whole being alignments. I help people to disconnect from their past life, from things that they've been holding on to in their energy. And I'm like, oh, this might be it. So I explained to her what I had been told by this medium. Well, she lived in Colorado, and the following week she was coming to a town that is very close to us. So we met with her. She did a whole being alignment on us. She and I had several conversations. And I asked her if she would mentor me. And she was like, I don't do what you do. And I said, well, what do I do? And she said, you talk to the dead. And I'm like, no, I don't. She said, yes, you connect to spirit on the other side. And she gave me a woman's name who was in Australia and said to me basically to contact her, have her do a reading for me. And if I felt drawn, have her mentor me. So I got in touch with LaSalle. She did a reading. We started doing mentorship classes. And about the third class, she said to me, you don't need me. Just do what you're doing. And I'm like, I really don't know what I'm doing.
Mm.
But during that class that she, or that reading that she did for me, she mentioned to me that I had been connecting with spirit since I was small. And I said, no, no. And she said, yes. She said, did people used to tease you about having imaginary goats? And I'm like, oh my God, yes. My goats went everywhere with me. And she said, those weren't goats, those were ghosts. And
Oh.
she said, because of your young vocabulary, you associated it with goats. And I remember my father, when we would go somewhere, he'd say, so are the goats coming with us? And after a while of being teased, I put the goats away. And it was like, oh my gosh, it made sense to me. And we did a meditation to open up my third eye. And I was instantly transported back into my childhood bedroom. I was probably second or third grade, and I used to have nightmares of eyes chasing me around. It was my third eye opening.
Wow.
So I things started clicking with me, and I started doing readings, and I would do one-on-ones, and then they wanted to bring a friend, and then they wanted to bring a friend, and
Mhm.
started doing small groups of 5 and then doing 10, and now I do gallery readings.
Mhm.
But when I was with my mentor, LaSalle, she had said to me, I don't know why, and Sue had told me this too. I don't know why you want to be mentored on something that comes naturally to you.
Mm.
Practice, learn, trust, and when you need a mentor, one will appear. So about 8 years down the road, all of a sudden, one mentor appeared, and that was spirit artist Joe Sheel. And then John Holland appeared, and he was one of my mentors. And then Tony Stockwell, and he was one of my mentors. But I can honestly say that since I opened up to spirit, like no more panic attacks, no more anxiety attacks. I like feel like I fit in my own skin, and I know that this is what I was meant to do.
Wow.
That's kind of the long story of it, but that's kind of back in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I love your story because it resonates with my story. I still don't know what's happening to me, but I'm wrestling. I don't give in
Yeah.
so easily for lots of reasons.
Okay.
I was raised around 4 different religions, even up to
Mhm.
now, similar to your experience. I'm told, you're Christian, believing in crystals and all of those woo-woo stuff is bad. So that's my identity, wrestling with the spirit, the flesh. It's just back and forth, and I'm just dizzy in between all of it all the time. Thank you for
Right.
sharing about, you said your husband thought you were schizophrenic. I've been labeled with that here, but I know it
Mhm.
was more than just
Yes.
the label. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, when you're hearing and seeing and feeling stuff to a point where it's anxiety ridden, you really think, oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind.
yeah, yeah.
But once I realized it was spirit and it was energy, and I could set my own boundaries up and say, no, no, you can't come right now,
Mm, yeah.
and come slowly. and easily. Because once that light switches on, spirit's like, oh, here's somebody who can see us. Oh, come. And it's almost like they go and they get the gang.
Yeah.
And I would literally wake up in the morning and there would be a face in front of mine. And I would be like, oh my gosh, quit doing that. And my poor husband, he's like, what am I doing? I'm like, not you, them. And they don't do that anymore because they know it freaks me out. I
Yeah.
invite them, I put my shield down or put my light switch on when they know that it's time that they can come in and talk to me, unless it's something that is important enough that they pester me for a while until I'm like, all right, what is it?
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember seeing my brother who passed as a baby, and he was a
Hmm.
grown man, and his face was right here. I'm like,
Yeah.
I already lost my mind, so which version of my mind am I losing now? Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah. You're not losing your mind. You're connecting to spiritual energy,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah. Mm. I have so many questions, I don't even know where to start. Uh,
Fire away.
Yeah, let's talk about faith and spirituality. The spirituality I mean is in what you believe in and what I believe in. Some say the
Hmm.
source is God, Jesus, which I believe in. I don't like to place a label, but I use it to give people perspective or understanding of
Hmm.
the language I have to use.
Hmm.
How can people come out of the closet? People who are scared, who have experienced what you've experienced, all the anxiety and so on.
Yeah. It can be very difficult if you don't have your own self-reflective confidence, I guess is what you say it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm very confident in the connection that I have with Christ.
Oh, me too.
And I know that spirit leads me in the direction that I need to go in. Now, is the adversary tricky? Absolutely. You know? So it is differentiating between good and evil, but it's also standing in faith and not by sight that you are protected and you're being led in the direction that you need to.
Mm,
When we think about religion, to me, religion is man made, faith is God centered. So I can go to a building with bricks, with people, and have one person speak to me
mhm,
about their interpretation of God, of creator, of source, and follow that to a point of misdirection because their interpretation can be different than my interpretation. I remember years ago, my husband and I would read the same verse in the Bible, and then we would discuss what it meant to us.
mm,
It means different things to different people because it's breathed by God and it's being spoken to me that based on how I resonate with it.
mhm,
So when people discuss to me or they bring up to me, well, are you a Christian? I am a child of God. I'm not putting a label on it. I'm a child of God.
yeah,
And when you look at verses in the Bible, when you look at the stories, I mean, who came to Mary? An angel.
yeah,
Well, that doesn't mean they went away, right? Nebuchadnezzar interpreted dreams. That doesn't mean it went away.
mhm, yeah,
Jesus said, greater things you will do through me than I have done myself. Greater things you will do through
mhm.
me than I have done myself. And I take that, oh, that gave me chills. I
Oh, me
take that
too.
as a big responsibility,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah,
So I look at it, you can put your blinders on and judge whoever you want to judge, or you can connect with Source, with God, and say, show me where I can be of service and tell me what I need to do for the greater and the good of myself and those that I come in contact with. And oh my gosh, the world will open up.
Mhm. Yeah.
Or I can say, it says this, and it was only translated 12 to 13 different times.
Mhm.
And maybe there's a little bit of a misinterpretation because you see it differently than I do. But
Mhm.
if I have my own connection to source, connection to God, relationship with God, it's going to be unique and different from what your version of it is.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I have a very intimate relationship with Source or Jesus.
Hmm.
Matter of fact, I asked him, I was tossed around around different religions. You need to show me
Hmm.
something that proves that you're real. Otherwise, I'm out. And he
Right.
did. He showed me his
And he
feet,
does.
the white robe, the sandal, light, love, boom, done. That's all I needed.
Right.
And
Right.
I've spent over a year trying to dissect what that vision meant, and it's coming together slowly.
Mm.
I don't know if it's a poem or what it is, Footprint in the Sand.
It's in the sand. That's exactly what I was thinking. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of it. I never thought anything about it, and as I was reading it, I'm like, okay, that's what that means.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. And I think to me, it's important to study and have a basic knowledge of all religions or as many
Mm,
different religions as you can, because they're
yeah.
all faith-based.
Yes. Yeah.
So, what is your faith? And I mean, I have in depth conversations with a lot of my friends who don't believe the same that I believe, but it's okay. I'm
Yeah.
not going to judge you for that.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
we were all brought up different ways. This is what I believe. Just hear what I believe.
Hmm.
And then, I've planted that seed, or you've planted a seed to make me think of a different aspect of
Yeah.
faith.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. That's so
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah. So you
right.
are an evidential medium. What is
Hmm.
evidential and what makes you different than medium? I don't know how many different types of mediums are there, but what are your gifts?
So, well, an evidential medium is just that they give you evidence of
Oh.
the continuity of life. It's like the new buzzword right now. It's an evidential medium. So, when you have a session with me, if I am bringing spirit through, before I land on who I have, I guess is a good way to say it. I will say to you things like, I have a man coming through and he feels like he is a little bit higher than my shoulders, which would probably be a father figure to you. And when he's coming through, I feel like he's got stripes or some type of padding. So it feels like he was very well respected in the military or militant. And
Mhm.
he's driving me down to my heart. So it feels like his cause of death was heart centered. And I feel as if like there's an AL. So this would be like an Al or an Albert. And then I would say to my sitter, can you connect with any of that?
Mhm.
Well, my father has passed. He was in the military. He had a heart attack, and his middle name is Albert. Okay. And then they'll usually give me a chill.
Mm.
And then I'll go back and then I'll bring the message forward for my sitter.
Mhm.
What some mediums will do is, they'll look at the person that's sitting across from him, and I hope it is fewer mediums than more, but they will look at the person sitting across from them, and based by the way the person looks and their age, they can assume, you probably have a grandmother who has passed.
Mm.
And most people are closer to their mom's mom or yeah, than they are their dad's mom. So would you understand a grandmother on your mother's side who has passed? Oh my gosh, yes, I would. Oh, she loves you very much and she wants you to know that she's okay. Does that make sense to you? Well, yes, it does. Oh my gosh. I haven't given you any evidence.
Mm.
All I've said was, grandmother, she loved you very much and she's okay.
Yeah.
I want to get deeper into that
Mm-hmm.
and let you know without a doubt, I have this person here that you want to come through.
Mm.
Now, I can never guarantee who's coming through because spirit's in control, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes things don't make sense to my sitter when they're sitting there. And I say, don't get all tied up. Maybe the owl part wasn't right. But the father who had passed, who was in the military and passed of a heart attack, don't
Mm-hmm.
worry about the AL. Because later you might go, oh my gosh, his brother's name was Al and he's also passed.
Mm.
It'll make sense when it needs to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But there's evidence that shows that I want to show to you that your loved one is with us. I did a reading, a gallery reading a couple weeks ago, and this woman's husband came through and he kept telling me something. I talk to them as I'm like, I'm not saying that. I don't know what that's about. Because it's like charades. They'll give me something that I have to figure out. And he kept giving it to me and I could smell it. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. Quit doing that. And the woman finally said, just say it. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope this feels like a hard no to me. Huh. But he keeps talking about corned beef and cabbage. And she went, oh my God, that was his favorite meal. He would eat corned beef and cabbage. If it would have been in March, if he would have shown me a four-leaf clover, I would have felt like, oh, maybe his birthday was in March. But I could smell the corned beef cabbage. And she was like, everybody in the house hated it, but he loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was the evidence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That doesn't just come on.
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
I love that. Yeah. Um, Give me a little glimpse of your world. My third eye opened once, and then I don't know what happened next. I haven't seen much. Um, when spirit is around you, let's say you're reading for a
Mhm,
family, I don't know, do you get
mhm.
like 100 people, different ancestry line? And I don't know how it works. Do you see them through your third eye? You feel it?
It's a little bit of everything.
Mm,
So when I set up my intentions for the readings, I want to make sure that the spirit comes through that is the most loving message to help the person in front of me heal. So if I'm talking to you about your great, 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 great grandmother, it's not going to mean anything to you because you can't validate anything unless you're working on your genealogy and I can pull things through. So I ask them to come in gently, one at a time, and give me the clarity to offer the message that you need. Sometimes I see them, sometimes I feel them, sometimes I hear them, sometimes I taste something or smell something. There are mediums that will say, that they are clairaudient, so they have the gift of hearing. Not that they're wrong in any way, so I'm not taking it that way. But I ask Spirit to allow me to see, feel, and hear whatever I need to in order to deliver the message. My strongest sense is just knowing. I just know that I know that I know. Things just pop into my mind. I see it or I feel it or I know it. But I do feel like the pain in the chest if it's a heart attack. Sometimes my voice will change, and I knew that the person couldn't speak or they were whatever the word is, intubated,
yeah.
because I can feel the raspiness.
Mhm.
So that's kind of I guess, a step into my world that I just allow spirit to guide me with whatever sense I need to offer the message that they need to bring across.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing. Let's say you're
Mhm.
reading one person. Do you typically see a lineup of their loved ones behind them waiting to come through?
Um, sometimes there might be more than one that is there. So if I'm doing a reading for someone, I'll say I have a male figure that's coming through, and behind them is another male and a female. I'm going to put them on hold for a second because this male came forward first,
Okay.
and then I'll offer that. Most times spirit's respectful and they'll say, okay, we'll wait here. It's almost like I put them in a waiting room.
Yeah.
Other times they'll just keep barging in and I'll just say, you know what? I got this other person that's coming in. I need to put dad on hold and let this woman come through who feels like this is your mom. And she was the one that spoke the most in the house, but dad wanted to come through first because he knew once mom came through, he wouldn't get a word in edgewise. Does that resonate with you? Oh my God, yes, it does. So sometimes there's a big line, but for the most part, because I set my intentions
Mhm,
for the ones that need to come through for the person who's sitting in front of me the most, it's usually one or two people.
mhm.
Having said that, I've had people who work in hospice or are morticians, um, that when I'm faced with them, like there's all this spirit that's around them, but they don't feel like they're a direct connection to them. So I instantly know, do you work in hospice, or have you helped people
Mm,
cross, or have you prepared bodies before they pass? Do you work? Because
mm,
I've got all these people that are showing up for you, but it just feels like you connected with them while they were transitioning or after they transitioned. So
mhm.
sometimes that happens as well.
It's a whole
Mhm.
party.
It can be. It
Yeah,
can be.
that's amazing. For me, I always feel stuff around me, spirits around me. I don't
Mhm,
typically know exactly who they are, but I
mhm.
just they're like a breath away from me. I feel them behind me, like right
Okay.
now. I feel
Yeah.
like there's a world just behind me. I don't know who they are, what they want. I just feel them. Does that make
Well,
sense?
they could be your absolutely,
Okay, don't say
absolutely.
too much. I'm alone at
They could
home.
be your spirit team. They
What
could
was
be your spirit team,
that? Okay. Yeah.
your guides and your angels. And you can close your eyes and you can kind of meditate, connect with that energy behind you and say, who are you and what do you want? What
Mm,
can I do for you? I always feel like with our guides and the archangels and our ascended masters, it's not always important to know their names because that's our humanness. But
mhm.
they will give you a name if you ask. But
Yeah.
if you say to them, why are you here? You will feel it. And there's this telepathic language between the two of you that they may say, I'm just here to protect you. Or they may say, I'm going to help you with your next project. So we humanize it when in the spiritual realm, they don't necessarily have specific emotions or feelings or time sensitive things. They just know they're supposed to be with you right now.
Mm, yeah.
So you just kind of go, okay, I gotcha. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Must be nice not to have time. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No time sensitive. Yeah. Nothing's time sensitive at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
5 minutes or 5 years, it's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Must be nice. Yeah. Talk
Mhm.
to us a little bit about walking souls. Do you have much
So
experience?
when you say, so when you say walking souls, explain to me
Yeah.
what you're asking me.
Okay, so I've watched lots of stuff, to better understand spirit. An example would be someone think they die, and then another spirit come in, and
Mhm.
how do I describe this? Someone die, and then
Mhm.
another spirit come in. They had an NDE. They wake up and they're eating weird food and yeah, never.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if it happened to me, but that's the best way I can describe it.
Well, I fully believe in near-death experiences. Um, I don't know that I've ever quite experienced one. I was just thinking about that the other day. I'm reading this book about a near-death experience, and just something popped into my head. I was in a car crash years ago, and I remember like the car just, turning very slowly, and I could see everything.
Mm,
And I was at such peace and such comfort that I knew everything was going to be okay. So probably not necessarily a near death experience, but an experience that I knew my guides or my angels or archangels were with me and everything was going to be cool.
Hmm.
And that's been 40 years ago. And I still visualize it in my mind without any problems. I don't completely understand why the near death experience, if you come back and all of a sudden you're changed. I
Hmm.
don't know that I fully believe souls jump.
Mm.
Oh, well, this person, I'm going to jump in here and I'm going to be, I don't know that I totally believe it, but here's the thing. Um, just because I don't understand it doesn't mean it's not true.
Mm. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
if you research it and you experience it, then who am I to say it's not true?
Mm.
Um, I mean, I talk to people that are on the other side, you know?
Yeah.
So, and they show me new things all the time. There's people that, will say to me, "Oh, I talk to fairies and sprites and the trees." And, years ago, I'm like, "Oh my God, what? Fairies? Hmm." And now I think to myself, who am I to judge? Maybe they do. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've never, but
yeah.
that doesn't mean somebody else can't.
Hmm. Yeah,
We
yeah,
all have different abilities.
yeah, yeah. Star
So,
seeds. Star seeds.
yes.
Yeah. I'm into all of it
Mhm.
because I got brought into it.
Mhm.
I was a mermaid once.
Oh, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. I've always said, and you're going to laugh, I've always had very thick thighs. And have always said I was either once a mermaid and my tail just didn't split enough, or I am transforming into a mermaid. And that's why I have thick thighs. That was always my thing, even as a kid,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. That's so cool. Yeah,
So,
yeah. I'm like, wow. I always knew there was more to life than
mhm,
just this. And then over time, the
absolutely.
experiences I experienced, I'm like, wow. Oh, and my adoptive mom, she passed and she tried to show me
Mhm,
the other side. And I went like this because I was so
yeah,
scared. I'm like, no. I put my hand
okay.
up and but through the little crack that I looked and could see, it's so peaceful. It looked like it
Absolutely.
was a different version. Maybe that's how my mind perceived it. It looked like there were
Hmm.
buildings and it was just quiet and peaceful.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and we fear what we don't understand or we don't know.
Yeah.
You have a fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
And one day we will know what it's like because every day that we live is that's checking off a day and closer to when we pass.
Is there anything else you'd like to share?
I mean, I feel as if we are all connected to the spiritual realm. We all have different abilities. I was watching an interview with John Edwards one time, and someone was asking him about his gifts. And he goes, "Oh, no, no, no. It's not a gift. It's an ability. We all have different abilities. And depending on what ability you concentrate on, that's what grows within you. Just like there are people that can ride a bicycle and jump all these ramps and do all these fancy tricks because they have honed their ability. It's the same thing with spirit. The more you meditate, the more you journal, the more you connect with spirit, the more your abilities will open up if you want them to.
Mhm. Yeah.
So don't think I'm special. I've just, it's one of those things. I've just gotten that tap on my shoulder that interested me. I am that person that if something interests me, I will read every single book that I can get my hands on to, see what resonates with me, which is exactly what I did in the beginning. I read all these books about all this different stuff and practiced all this, and I would read this and I would do this. Some things fit me, some things didn't.
Mhm.
Altars, not really my gig. But when I see an altar that someone has put together, I'm like, wow, I can see that. I do medicine wheels, and then I'm thinking, well, what's the difference between them?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the word. you
Mm,
know, because of how I was raised.
yeah.
So, you know, anytime we deal with our spirituality, whether it's faith-based or wisdom-based, I feel like you just have to trust where the heart takes you,
Hmm.
discern where we're going, and make sure you're being led by the light. Because the darkness will try to creep in, but I swear
Yeah.
to you, for as long as I've been doing this, I have never encountered a dark energy. Never.
Mm.
I don't
I
I
have.
don't do that.
I
Yeah, I
have.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't anymore. You guys, my voice changed because I have a cold. Okay.
Hmm.
But I don't anymore. When I was a child, even preteen, I would get sleep paralysis. It was bad.
Hmm.
I was
Hmm.
on my back. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. Up to this day, I don't like to sleep on my back. Sleep like this.
Okay.
I feel safe. I have seen so many dark energies.
Hmm.
But one experience I had was me calling out to Jesus. And I was
There you
screaming,
go.
Jesus, help me, help me, help me. And I was screaming that wherever I was at, I wasn't right here on earth. It
Hmm.
didn't feel like it was a different dimension. And the minute I
Hmm.
screamed his name out, I woke up. And whatever it was, I
Right.
heard it scream and it
Hmm.
left. I swear, I just got chills because I'm not making that up.
Oh, I believe you.
That's
I
all I
believe you.
had to say was his name. That's it.
Hmm.
And it
Yeah.
shrieked and it lifted off me and I woke up
Hmm.
through right here to earth, if that makes sense.
Right. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. So, you know, there are those who are meant to encounter, and I don't want to say you're tested by your faith.
Mm,
Um, but I mean, I used to encounter sleep paralysis as well.
mm.
Um, and I had similar things where I would be like, get thee behind me, you know, Satan, or,
Yep.
you know, calling in
Name
the
of
name of
Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Um, but I just always felt like I had been transported to another dimension to fight whatever needed to be
Yeah.
fought. And then when I came back into my body, I wasn't completely here. So that's what caused the paralysis. That was my understanding for myself. I had to rationalize it somehow so that it didn't freak me out. So I didn't want to go to sleep. Just like you said, I can't sleep on my back anymore. I sleep like this.
Yeah.
That's how you rationalize your protection,
Mm.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Now I'm scared of
So,
the dark.
mm,
I'm scared of the dark.
okay.
I'm not ashamed to share it because growing up in Haiti, we use mostly candles. We don't have on-demand electricity like here. So it's a childhood
Hmm.
thing.
Hmm.
It was just too dark. It creeped me out.
Right.
Now I carry it. And I will
Yeah.
eventually get rid of it, but it's like a
Mhm.
stock of fear and triggers and things I have to go through.
Right. Right. Well, you know, acknowledging that you know that you have that fear is one step into putting that fear behind you.
Hmm.
So you become what you say you are. So if you acknowledge, I have a fear of the dark, you're going to continue to fear the dark.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm working on empowering myself to get into the light, even if I'm in the dark.
Ooh,
So then
that's really good.
you're putting yourself in empowerment,
Hmm.
and you're walking over fear.
Yeah.
Because if you say, I have a fear, that fear is going to stay with you.
Yeah.
Just my opinion. But
Yeah.
when you change the way you word it, all of a sudden it takes a little bit away from that
Hmm.
fear or that phobia.
Yeah.
Um, there's this quote, and I don't exactly remember how the quote goes, but it says that you see more with your eyes closed than you do when your eyes are open in the light.
Yeah.
So when you feel afraid in the dark, close your eyes and ask for your vision of light to come
Hmm.
and kind of snuff out that fear of the dark,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah, yeah, I love that. What is that
Yeah.
behind you there? It's the angel wings, and is that your book or books?
That's one of my books. Yes.
That
It's
is
My Head Knows, but My
beautiful.
Heart Still Hurts. Here, let me bring it forward a little bit.
Wow.
It is a 30-day grief recovery journal so that I give you different prompts of different things that happen while you're walking through grief. And it allows you, and I'll give you, I call it a God wink. I'll give you a, for instance, with, something that happens within my life. But the cool thing about the book, when I was writing it, I thought I had walked through my grief.
Mm-hmm.
I had not. And this allowed me to do a little bit more. But journaling is such a release and it tells your story. Maybe you're writing a letter to the one who's on the other side. Well, what does this do then? It creates a memoir for those who didn't know this person.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chapter on your first, whether it's the first Christmas or the first anniversary. There's a chapter about songs and how songs can bring certain memories and how you can ask them to bring songs in for signs and signals. And it's just one of those books that it gives you something to do 30 days
Mm-hmm.
that will help you. It's not going to get rid of grief, but it will help you hand in hand remember what you had instead of being so focused on what was taken away.
Yeah.
So that's why I created that book. And it's on Amazon or on my website, connectingtospirit.com. But I wrote that, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago. I got the idea for that and put
Yeah.
it together, and it's helped a lot of people.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it drew my attention. I love purple. I love
Mm-hmm.
the wings, and is
Mm-hmm.
that a heart in the middle? That's just
It's
beautiful.
a heart in the middle with the world. Yes.
Oh.
So purple was my mother's favorite color. So I had to incorporate purple. To me, purple is also Archangel Michael. So that's the wings, plus your loved ones. They're angels now that they have wings. It's your heart. And, this represents them being in the spiritual realm.
Mm.
But I had a friend of mine when I was writing the book, her son passed, and it was her adult son. And we had this conversation, and she said, my head understands it. I understand that he's passed, but my heart still hurts. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to use that for the title of my book because that's exactly right. We understand it in our head, but we can't get our heart to wrap around it. And it probably never will. When someone says to you, oh, it gets easier with time, I call bullshit on that every single time.
Yeah,
No, it doesn't.
yeah.
No, it doesn't. I still miss my mother and my uncle and my best friend, you
Hmm.
know, but they had such an impact on me
Hmm.
that their memories and the way that they helped me to be who I am today, you
Yeah,
know, that's what I have to remember.
yeah, yeah.
When I'm thinking of my mom and how I miss her, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's right here with me. She's flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. She created this hair, you know,
Yeah.
like she's here.
Yeah.
She's in every heartbeat because without her, I would not have my heartbeat,
Mm. Yeah.
you know? So I have to look at it. I don't have to, but I choose to look at it that way that no matter where I am, I wear her engagement ring and my hands look just like hers. And I know that sounds weird. Um, but I always think of, you know what, she's walking hand in hand with me because I have her long fingers. I have the veininess that she always had, and I have her engagement ring on my hand. And there's times I'll take up all my other rings and just look at that engagement ring and I see her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So um I don't know where I was going with all of that, but oh, we were talking about the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
there's prompts in there,
Yeah. I
to
love that.
help you adjust.
Hmm. Yeah, I love that. Well, unfortunately, I have to wrap up this episode
Absolutely,
before my
not a
throat
problem.
starts doing its thing again. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, what is the meaning of life for you?
The meaning of life to me is to be the best that I can, to learn as much as I can, and to be of service and help as many people as I can.
Hmm.
That's life.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And this is
Thank
the
you.
site there, right?
Yeah, the website should be on there. It's connectingtospirit.com.
Yeah.
I have a social media group, Connecting to Spirit with Stacey. Um, join the social media group or the page. You can Google my name, Stacey Niedentohl, and you'll find out all my information and the books and, different podcasts or different write-ups on me. And if you feel drawn and you want to have a reading, you just click on contact and we can do it in person or over Zoom. We'll
Awesome.
work through it.
Awesome. Well, Stacy, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming on the podcast today.
Absolutely, Bernadette. I thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.